Computer audio. Recording. Hey Taylor, how's it going? Let's see. Hello, nobody's here now. Okay. Hello. Anybody here?
Hey, it hasn't even detached from the bottom gum yet.
Oh. Hello. Hey Lily, how's it going? There you go. Right. So far the only one here. Okay. All right. Let's see. People having issues getting in. Okay. Okay. A couple people. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
There you are. All right.
All right, I have audio now.
Perfect. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So I got Lily. I got Taylor. Hey, Taylor. How's it going? All right. Well, I guess we'll hang out for a minute and see if anybody else shows up here. I'm hoping.
Yeah, on the thing you posted, it said for one of it, like for part of it, it said 1 p.m. and then at the bottom it said 2 p.m. So some people might have been confused. Like,
Crap. Uh-oh.
yeah. So I wasn't sure, so I just came for the 1 p.m.
Okay. Well, oops. That might be an issue then. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. We'll see here. So, did you get a chance to go over the syllabus and the schedule a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been reading like other syllabuses too.
Yeah, right. Any questions on that so far?
I do not.
Not really. Okay. All right. Well, I am recording this for everybody, so I guess we'll continue along here. Just a few things I wanted to do today. One was just kind of go over our Blackboard site and just kind of show you the setup of that here. Whoops. So let me share screen. Show screen. Perfect. Share. All right. So let's see here. Can you see the Blackboard page there? Yeah, you see the Blackboard page? Okay, good. All right. So this is the setup for our class here. And basically, it's kind of set up where everything you do is going to be done through the assignments tab here. We got the discussions, the labs, lecture slides, video lectures, that kind of stuff. But it's all also accessible just by going right to the assignments. Kind of like the orientation. Now week 1 is open. Let's just take a look at that real quick here. So each week we'll have, read the information. There is no book. Any introductory geology textbook will work. There's a couple online options that I gave to you. Otherwise, somebody's got one sitting around or whatever. That'll be fine too. Mostly the info will be coming from lecture videos and such like that, right? And then the next one will be watch the introductory lecture videos. Click on that. It'll obviously take you to the lecture videos here. It is important to know, though, that in these lecture videos, there are quizzes embedded in the videos. So if it says required quiz embedded, that is a graded video that you do need to watch, okay? All right, back to our assignments. Again, first week, so we have read the material, watch the videos, and then most weeks, not every week, but most weeks, we'll have a lab to do, and that will be complete. For this week, it's density, right? And that again will take you right to that lab. This week we have it's kind of a it's a watch me float different blocks of wood on water, basically, and we'll play with density and some scientific ideas. And then for this one here, then to answer the lab, go ahead and click on the lab answers, and it'll bring you right to the answers for the lab. The lab for the other formats will be a little different, where you just upload the lab itself. But this first lab, I decided for some reason last semester to make it where you have to go complete the lab and then enter the answers separately. Right. Most of the other labs, so we look at those here, like lab 2 maps. This is the assignment itself here. And I've got the, the lab information there. And then you can fill out the lab and then just click on here. And then there will be a place where you can upload, fill out the lab and then upload it. And that'll be for the rest of the labs there. All right. So let's see here, assignments. Week 1. And then there will be discuss the introductory material. So you click on that, that'll take you to our discussion board for the week, right? And here we have, oops, this one's not supposed to be here. I'll get rid of that. But do we have questions you have for the lab, on the lab, questions you have on the chapter materials or video materials, and then introductory discourse, where I try to point like an open-ended question. This one has about how science has been portrayed in our society, that kind of stuff, and recent examples from Anthony Fauci. The requirements I have, the discussion is graded 10 points a week. And you must, in order to get those 10 points, you must participate at least 2 days per week in the discussion, right? So not two quick posts at 11:58 p.m. on Sunday night, but 2 times throughout the week where you get involved in that discussion forum. And this is really, since we're all kind of out there virtually, kind of the best way we have to kind of interact with each other as a class, right? So things that count for towards your posts are insightful responses to my posts, responding to somebody else's post. If you have a question that you thought of as you're reading the chapter, feel free to post that as a new thread as well. I'm pretty open on this here, but I'm looking for more than like, what is a rock? I mean, it's got to be a little intellectual. I'll try to lead you with some of these open-ended questions, but this summer it actually worked out pretty well, and we got a lot of good discussion going in here. So I hope we can kind of do the same thing throughout this class. And then let's take a look here. So the last thing I'll have you do each week is just a little short 5-point quiz, right? So take the little quiz, and take note that these quiz questions may reappear in the exams themselves. The exams will be all digital as well. So, and these will be good examples of the style of questions that'll be in the exam. So we're talking, traditional multiple choice, choose all that apply, fill in the blank, write down a number, choose a spot on a picture that I'm talking about, that kind of stuff. So, so that's kind of how that's going to be done. And the quizzes, again, they're just 5 points per chapter, not a big deal, but just kind of a summation at the end of the chapter there. So questions on that weekly review stuff. Hey Charles, how you doing?
Hello.
How's it going? We were just kind of going over some of the introductory materials here, and this is what each class will be set up where you go through assignments. That'll be the stuff for the week. This week's stuff's already up there, right? So we'll have read the chapters, watch the videos. Again, there are quiz questions built into the videos. So if it says required, quiz embedded, you do need to watch that video for points. Usually there'll be a lab, discuss the material, and then take the introductory quiz as well. Right now, everything for the week is due Sunday evenings. Right, I will launch them on, Sunday evening, 11:59 p.m. It'll launch, and it'll be due the next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. All the materials for that week. The one difference being, the exams, I'll probably be launching the exams Wednesdays and have those due on Sundays. You can always kind of do it whenever you want in there, but it'll be timed. So you'll have a 3-hour block to do the exam. It's open note, open book, whatever, but you'll have a 3-hour block, so once you start, it's kind of, that's your block to do that exam. So, but like everything else, it'll be due, 11:59 p.m. on Sundays. I just may not launch it till the middle of the week. So, just to let you focus on that week's material for a little bit first here. So, all right. And then other things I will provide you with the lecture slides for all of the lectures that I do. So this one will have, kind of our introductory, chapter and material in here, plus a nature of science document that I'd like you to read about. And this is just kind of, basically this week we'll talk about what science is, what it isn't, that kind of stuff. And this is a good summation article on it, short article. If you notice, a couple of the authors are from right here in West Michigan, right over at Grand Valley State University. So it really is relevant kind of to us here. I'll post those. I'll have video lectures posted as well. And then here I have exam reviews. So for the first exam, all right, notice here I have long reviews. This is 1 out of 10 pages, right? But they're very descriptive, right? Or should I say very specific? So basically, if it's on here, if this study guide, you're going to do pretty well. So instead of saying, know all about rocks, I tell you what I want you to know about these rocks, right? So here's our first chapters, read Nature of Science article, understand what falsifiability is, what are scientific processes, theories, laws, models, that kind of stuff, right? So I'm very explicit about what I want you to be looking at. So if you take a look at this the night before the exam, you're going to hate me, right? But if you take a look at this, as you're going along, because notice they're already posted for the whole semester, right? So if you're taking a look at these as you're going along, as you're reading through the chapters, and you're just kind of taking notes on here, notice, yes, it's 10 pages, but I also double spaced it so you can kind of write in and take notes or whatever, right? So if you're doing this, kind of as you go along, it's not that big of a deal. And like I said, the exams are open note, open book. Well, if you've already taken notes here, what better place to get all those resources than just right here, right? So, it's not really cheating, but there's a good hint for you, So, right. Let me see, what else do I want to let you know about here? Syllabus and schedule information are right here. Take a look at those real quick. Whoops, wrong button. Go away. Take a look at those real quick here. All right. So general stuff on the syllabus, right? There's my office hours, how to contact me, all that good stuff. Here's all the student learning outcomes, all the things we'll be able to do and after we're finished with this class. All right. And again, the only thing required for this class is that rented geology lab kit through the bookstore. It's 25 bucks, right? If you don't return it, they end up charging you a lot more. So make sure you return it, and I'll remind you and probably incentivize you to return those rocks as well. But again, for books, there is no specific book, right? Here are a couple online geology textbooks that you're welcome to use to read along with, right? Most of it will be coming from the course information, or I should say the videos and video lectures and that kind of information, right? So this is just some more, good backup information for you. Specific requirements for the class, just be able to use Blackboard. This can be our main way of communicating, getting all our information. And if you have you'll need a computer that you're able to download programs to. We'll be using Google Earth Pro for a couple of our programs starting next week with our, next week with our, when we start looking at topographic maps and stuff like that on Google Earth Pro. So that would be the only kind of really requirements there. Just again, if you haven't already ordered those rocks, order those rocks. All right, check out those textbooks. Attendance policy, yada yada. I mean, we are online, but it is again important that you do participate and are active in the class. If you're, I can tell you from experience, if you're one of those folks who saves everything till Sunday afternoon to do it and rushes to get it all in, you're not going to get a great grade on it, right? You're going to be rushing and all that good stuff. By the way, the weekly quizzes that are built into the lecture exams, as well as the video lectures themselves, you should be able to retake those quizzes as many times as you like, and I've got them set to record your highest score, so you can do the little 5-point quiz 150 times if you would like. It doesn't matter, just takes the highest score that you get. It just cuts you off at 11:59 p.m. on Sunday evenings, right? We do have 11 labs. They're 20 points apiece. One of those you are allowed to drop. So if you just hate the lab, or sick of me for that week, or whatever, you can drop one. You got one to go on. One kind of give me there. Participation and homework. This includes the participation in the discussion forum. Again, we'll look at that in a second. And a couple homework assignments, the video lectures with the quizzes built in, and the chapter quizzes themselves are all in that participation and homework section there. And then we have 2 midterms at 130 points each, a final exam at 150 points each, for a total of 1,000 points. So that'll be a nice round number. Hopefully you can keep, easily kind of keep on track with where you are in the grades as far as that. So just one note, as we get towards the end of the semester, Blackboard will give you your attempted points. So sometimes it says, I got 700 out of 750 points. Well, it's actually the class is out of 1,000 points, but you only attempted 750 points, that kind of thing, right? So again, this is going to be our kind of, our contract, our contract with each other here. Classes out of 1,000 points. This is how I break it down, right? And standard grading scale, that kind of good stuff, right? The laboratory component for this course is all online. There'll be one lab most weeks. Again, there are 11 labs, but we have 15 weeks. So obviously, a couple of the weeks we will not have a lab, right? Um, let's see here. Oh, here's our participation in that discussion section. Again, you must participate 2 out of 7 days each week, not give me 2 submissions, at 11:58 on Sunday evening, right? 2 days per week, just to kind of keep you engaged, and that'll help you from getting too overwhelmed, by all the, go in there and there's 49 things to read, right? I will be in there and I will be interacting in the discussion forum as well. However, I do not intend to respond to every single discussion post. I will be following along them and kind of posting, kind of as you would, here and there and that kind of stuff, right? So full 10 points. You had, insightful, information, not just, what is a rock, that kind of thing, right? And you posted out, oh, I said 3 out of 7, should be 2 out of 7. I'll fix that. 2 out of 7 days each week, 7.5 points. You only participated in 1 day, but you made a couple, 3 maybe really good posts or something, right? 5 points, you're lacking pretty much in, you just did that, 2 posts, right before the end of the due date on the same day, that kind of thing, or 1 post, right? And then not even trying is not even trying, so I'm not gonna give any points for not even trying, right? Let's see, I think that's pretty much it. Make sure, I don't know if you have any classes on campus. It will not affect us, obviously, but here's COVID information, right? Obviously, if you're on if you need to go to campus, make sure you're social distancing, all that good stuff, yada yada, right? I started online and kept this online because I feel that everything's just gonna open up and then we're gonna shut right back down again. We've already got 36 states that they're seeing outbreaks in the university and college levels. So I figured we might as well start and end the same format. So here we are. But I did spend a lot of time this summer developing some online labs. So hopefully you'll find them actually somewhat useful, and hopefully you'll find this class somewhat entertaining and educational, right? I was kind of looking at our schedule here real quick. Nothing too exciting, right? Again, every week, stuff that's going to be graded are those videos, the labs, the discussion participation, the quizzes, that kind of stuff. I've broken down kind of what we're going to be doing each week. So first we'll be kind of looking, at the introductory material that's going to be kind of common to, first chapter for any textbook. Then we're going to be looking at how geologists kind of view the world. We'll do geologic time, plate tectonic, streams, and flooding. And then here's all the, the nifty-difty learning goals for that week from the syllabus there. So you can kind of attach, what we're learning that week, what you're supposed to be getting out of that week with the actual material for the class itself, right? Questions on any of that good stuff here? Nothing so far. All right. If not, I'm going to swing in and do just a little bit of introduction to the class itself. Right. There I am. This is me, your fearless leader, John Van Riggenmorter. You can just call me John or Professor or whatever you're comfortable with. I'm not very formal. Right. My education, I went to a little place called Grand Valley State University for my undergrad, Western Michigan and CU Boulder for graduate degrees. Got a small collection of master's degrees in geology and GIS, which is the stuff that runs Google Earth, Google Maps, that kind of stuff, biological anthropology. So I studied fossils, basically. A little bit about me. I've studied geology basically since I've been a young lad. This is actually a picture of my son here when he was 1 year old, finding his first dinosaur. But I am into all the wonders of geology, and I did start this when I was in high school. And as you can see, we've all had some bad ideas in the past there, right? So anyway, what I do, high resolution spatiotemporal correlations. You need to know what none of that is, but basically I take fossil localities. So all these little dots here, these are all fossil localities where different fossils have been found. And I line them up in space and time so we can do kind of some evolutionary studies on how these things line up and how things evolve and change kind of on a small, finer scale than we've been studying before. And what I produce is basically a stratigraphic section looks kind of like this, where we plot all these different localities on here, showing where they plot in relationship to each other, right? Mainly I'm into fossil mammals. I do a lot of stuff with fossil mammals. Anything with sabers is awesome, in my opinion. Oops, here's sabers, right? But I'd mainly study fossil primates and stuff related to fossil primates out west in the Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, that kind of area, right? But everything fossil is awesome. I've also done a lot of research on fish poop in the gypsum mines here in Grand Rapids. It's some of the crappiest research I've ever done. No, okay, all right, whatever. All right, other things I'm into: archaeology, human and primate evolution, GIS, obviously, that's again what runs Google Earth and Google Maps. Data dissemination, I love minerals, and mass extinctions and studying mass extinctions and how they affect evolution. And we'll look at that a little bit this semester as well. So getting the most out of your college experience. Do we have any, is this anybody's first college class online, first college semester? Yeah. All right. Excellent. All righty. Wonderful. Well, you're not alone. Most people take this class are in fact, freshmen or sophomores. But just kind of a quick note. I notice we're all kind of online at the moment. It's a little harder, but there's plenty of stuff to do to get involved in your classes and everything so far, right? So education and social involvement are important in college, right? More so than, before in your educational career. You got the ability more to take control of your educational experience. Yeah, you can kind of sit by it passively and let it happen to you, or you can kind of take control and get in there and get involved in your education. That's going to give you a much, much better experience, right? So maybe not so much now, but once we get vaccines and stuff, go out, meet new people, right? Social distance, wear a mask, all that good stuff. Get involved in, whatever clubs, activities. If you've picked a department, get involved in your department, see if any professors are doing any research or, programs like that. There's study abroad available, right? Research opportunities, trips to conferences, all sorts of different opportunities that, if you talk to a professor or advisor, beforehand, there might even be some money, if you're doing some research or something to get you to go out to one of these conferences or something like that. I've done that with a couple of my students before. So a lot of, interesting opportunities. Just get involved, go out there and see what's available for you to do, right? So I did online teaching this summer, but that was my first experience with online teaching. Obviously, I'm still learning on how to teach online, so I am asking for your help, right? And to make this class a little better. So that includes, participating actively in those discussion boards, which are graded, right? I do have video office hours. Those are Wednesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 4 p.m. So I'll be just kind of sitting here, posted out at my computer, and, feel free to stop in just like any other office hours. I'll, answer questions and, help you with labs or whatever you got for that week, right? But also on those discussion boards, right, there's question, there's a section for labs each week. There's a section for questions out of the chapter each week. So, if you have questions on the lab, you're probably not the only one. Post it in there, right? And then if you have answers for somebody, if you figured out how to do that, right, post them there and, help your fellow students out on these labs. And all, of course, those count towards your 2 discussions per week, right? Of course, I'm always available via email. I'm around my computer most of the time and try to answer generally pretty quickly questions that you have and all that good stuff, right? But again, like I said, this is, my second semester teaching online. So let me know if stuff's working for you, especially if it's not working for you, right? And then ideas you may have to improve the class, things you've seen in other classes used effectively by other professors, or technology or media or something that you think might help us engage or or learn the material better. Let me know. I'm always open to kind of introducing new items as we kind of move along. So, which is why I leave my syllabus kind of, or my schedule kind of open to change as well, right? So class schedule, obviously we're asynchronous, you know, we're just kind of meeting here today as for a first kind of, you know, hi, how you doing sort of thing, and answer your questions. But other than that, this class is basically asynchronous, meaning you don't have to be here at any specific time, but do be aware again that weekly due dates are on Sunday evenings at 11:59 p.m., right? So everything for that week is due at 11:59 p.m., right? Virtual office hours, again, Wednesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 4 p.m., or if that doesn't work for you, by appointment, we can set that up. Just send me an email. And again, required materials, any geology textbook will work. I have, again, a couple in the syllabus that are online for you to check out. Access to a laptop with download capabilities. And again, make sure you order those rocks from the bookstore. I think it's called the Geology Lab Kit. And again, remember, you are renting these and you'll be returning them at the end of the semester. So make sure you save the packaging so you don't have to go out and find a new box and whatever to put it all in, right? Again, kind of course breakdown. We did this already, but just to remind you, 200 points coming from labs. You can drop one. Participation in homework, 390 points. Midterm exams, 260, 130 points each. Final exam, 150 points for a total of 1,000 points, right? And normally, if we were doing this in person, there would be lecture exams and lab exams. I'm grouping those all together. The lab material will be included in the midterm exam as well. Right? So, you know, if we've been doing stuff on hydraulic gradient, there may be a calculate hydraulic gradient question on, you know, the lab exam, right? Or the midterm exam. So I've rolled those all into the same kind of thing. Right? Goals for the class. Let's see. Expand your knowledge and interest in our planet, the processes that shape our world, right? Develop an understanding of what the science is, what science isn't, and how it applies to life, right? And then here it is, folks, the one that's on every syllabus ever, right? To develop critical thinking and analytical skills, right? But it is also my job to teach upcoming geology majors. Anybody in here a geology major yet? No, not yet. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Teach upcoming geology majors. So yeah, many of you, most of you, as you'll find out, are not, you know, geology majors, or maybe not even science majors. But there are a few who come through here who are. So not only do I have to teach to, you know, you folks who are in here, if you're science with a lab credit, but also I have to teach folks who are actually going into geology. But then, you know, my last kind of goal is to recruit new geology majors. So if you feel like I'm trying to convince you to become a geologist, I probably am. Right. All right. So things that are due this week again. Let me show you assignments. We have the orientation. All the stuff in here is due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. All right, so that would be Sunday the 6th. Orientation videos. There are no points attached to these orientation videos. Just review the syllabus and schedule. Sorry, and then introduce yourself on the class blog. The idea here is to, you know, kind of, you know, give us a background, you know, what your major is, all that kind of good stuff, what brought you to the class, yada, yada, right? And then feel free to, you know, go through there and comment on other folks too. Check it out, because, you know, this is actually graded. I should mention that as well. It's only like 5 points, but to you know, do the introduction there. So make sure you do that and then check it out, because you'll notice that, you know, if you're not a science major, you're not the only one in that boat, right? If you are a science major, you might be the only one in that boat, actually. And then take the little, you know, the syllabus, schedule, and quiz. And once again, this is how we'll do everything for that week, right? So again, orientation, and then week 1 again due, whoops, I gotta change the date on that. Week 1 due at Sunday, 9/6, 11:59 p.m. And this one is going to have those videos which are graded, right? Complete the lab, which is graded, right? The discussion board, which is graded, participate 2 days per week, right? And then the quiz at the end, just a little 5-point quiz, right? And that's going to be the general breakdown for every week, right? But this week, remember, you got the orientation and week 1 to complete. All right, questions on any of that, folks? That's about all I had for orientation material that I wanted to go over today. All right. So when I'm done with this, I'll post this video in the week 1 folder, and then it'll be available for you to kind of go back and reference as well. This will not have points attached to it, but the other 2 videos in there will have points attached to them. Again, it will always say, required quiz in video or something like that to let you know which ones you have to watch, right? Because some of these, especially when we get into like natural disasters, I'll post all sorts of fun ones about hurricanes and water spouts and all sorts of fun things. You don't need to necessarily watch all of those, right? But then I'll do the lecture videos as well. So questions on anything before we get
what kind of stuff do you want us to talk about on the discussion board?
So it'll be different for each week. Let's look at what we got this week here. So this week we have just questions you have on any of the material that we're talking about or that's in in your book. That's a place for you to post and respond to other folks, right? There's a place for lab 1 questions, any questions you have on lab 1, and then there'll always be kind of an open-ended kind of discourse question. Here this week is, how has science been portrayed in our society? Can you think of any specific examples? How might it be used or misused, right? That kind of thing, and just be kind of an open-ended discussion, and then hopefully we'll get kind of a back and forth, and some folks responding to other folks, and I said 2 days a week, but feel free to respond and quote and say whatever if there's a topic that really interests you, go for it. You can make 15 posts a week. It's not going to hurt you, right? So, but I am looking for, intelligent questions, not just like, this is last minute, so I'm making something up, that kind of thing. So you can post any of those. You could also, if going over the material for that week sparked a question for you, you can start your own thread. I've allowed you to start threads in here, so you can post your own thread like this, and that would count as well. I'm trying to make this kind of as as open and friendly to everybody as possible here. So you can if there's something you want to discuss and it's not here, bring it up. That's really what I'm hoping for out of those that kind of stuff. So yeah, just you don't have to be Einstein on every last one of these, but I'm looking for actual effort or actual interest, right? That kind of stuff, right? Feel free to look stuff up, make posts, put links, pictures, all that kind of stuff in there. Other questions at all here? All right. Well, I think I will end our little video first day thing here then. Thanks for joining up with us. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or post them. If there are questions about the material, post them in the discussion section, that kind of stuff too, right? So, all righty, folks. If there's no more questions, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. We'll see you, right? Don't forget orientation folder and week 1 folder due on Sunday evening. All right. Thank you much. Go away. Stop sharing screen. And